Thought we'd do a little video of the homestead this morning. I just gave everybody their feed. Got 3 babies over here. These are actually getting pretty good size here, but they're lined up. It's so cute. It's really cool when you got like 7 or 8 of that size all lined up around the hay. These are a little bit younger in here. They're still hiding out in their nesting box. This guy's going to be dinner today. Now these guys don't have much longer. I'd say they probably have about a month, and then they're going to be processed, just like the ones next door. I'm actually going to do like a Facebook marketplace to see if some folks need some rabbit, because I got a freezer full already. These guys just keep coming. I even slowed down on raising rabbits this year because we have such a potential high production rate that I don't know what to do with all of them. This is my champion male here. He's a sweetheart too. Very good rabbit. This is a New Zealand white. That's a different type. You can tell by his shape of his nose and everything. It's just a little bit different, but you can still mate him with the other rabbits, so I do occasionally with my brown rabbits. And then this is a New Zealand also. He's black colored. And that guy is pure muscle. Amazing how much muscle is on him compared to the white rabbit. Let me show you my chicks, because my chicks have just grown tremendously. They love to sit here right by the gate, look out. They are eating a ton of food right now. In fact, I had to come in and spread a bunch of pine flakes because the poop is just astronomical how much they put out now. So these are 5 weeks old. I need to get a weight on them, but at this point they'll start adding probably a pound a week. In fact, they should be real close to 5 pounds right now. At least the males will be. And then my Rhode Island Reds, you can just see how much smaller they are in comparison to the Cornish Rocks. Hey babies! See, a couple of them are over there roosting on top of the little baby pen. I probably don't need to keep those smaller ones separate, but for their safety, because these other ones are so much bigger, that's what I've been doing. But I've come in here half the time and there's 2 or 3 of them out here running around. They get flighty and they just kind of get in there with everybody else. But these guys are going to get so big, I don't want them to get stepped on and get hurt. It was 42 this morning, so I had the fireplace going and everything. I moved some of my younger babies into my nursery here. You can see some of these are actually, they got full fur and they're running around. I got some over there on the side hiding in the corner. And then some are still in their nesting box, haven't really ventured out yet, but they probably didn't need to be put up, but I don't like to take a chance when they're this young. We usually have them in the nursery here until they start jumping out. So since these guys are jumping out, they probably would be okay. But you know, you invest so much time getting them to this point, I just don't want to take a chance. In here I have the heat lamps right above here, so I can have these kennels. Now I've got a mama here who's any day gonna give me some babies. She is huge. Look how big she is. She's big and round. She's got her nesting box all ready. New Zealand white, but she has brown eyes. So we've had her for quite a while. This is a year I'm actually going to be rotating out some of my males and females. So the litters that are born from these groups, they're going to be our next generation. You're a big girl. So I've got 14 older chickens, but they must be all up underneath the deck. It's kind of funny. Normally they're out scratching all over the place, but oh, there's one just came out. Yeah, they're all up underneath the deck for some reason. They spend a lot of time underneath there scratching, you know, where the rabbit poo and everything is. I guess there's tons of worms. There's a few of them out here. But the majority of them are always down here at the bottom of the yard. They totally destroy the yard. But I basically have free-range chickens. So everything I'm raising here are extremely cold tolerant. You know, rabbits thrive in the cold weather. Just the babies you got to be a little more protective with. But these Rhode Island Reds are a cold breed. And I kind of recommend you think about that for the future, because if we go into Grand Solar Minimum, it's going to be a totally different climate than what you've been used to. And when you think about all these rolling blackouts and everything they're doing in California, you got to have alternate means of heating and everything else. You know, they shut down for some of those places. I don't think it was quite a week, but there was none of the stores were open, no chance to get any money, anything. Fuel, I mean, electric cars couldn't charge. Gasoline cars, you could still go. If you couldn't charge your electric car every day, you're going to have troubles. That had to be quite range anxiety for some of these folks. So I picked a bunch of my tomatoes because we were all of a sudden starting to get a bunch of rain, and even though I normally would pick them when they first start turning color like this, I had to pick a bunch of them when they were green. But it doesn't take long. They start ripening up, and then when they get ripe, I put them in a little container here and I set it by where I eat my meals, and that's my little appetizer. I love eating tomatoes just like they're apples. Now the other day, I'm still getting so many jalapenos. I cut up a bunch of jalapenos, and I unfortunately discovered I must have some other plant out there other than jalapenos. I can't remember. Sometimes I grab stuff just to get it, but I had did a little stir fry the other day. Took 3 or 4 jalapenos, cut it up with a bunch of bell peppers and onions, and also did some chicken breasts that we had left over, stirred it all up, and it was so hot I couldn't eat any of the jalapenos or bell peppers, but we ate the chicken, but it was like thermonuclear, so I got something else mixed in there besides just jalapenos. But I've been canning the crap out of even these Tabascos. So I got almost a case here. Actually, this is still just a partial. I got to do some more, but anyways, I gave a couple away as well. Each one of these are equivalent to a gallon of jalapenos because of the Scoville hotness. So those are coming along, and then these are all of the peppers I've got. But you notice some of these are a little different, and I probably got something that is not what I prefer to eat. I love it when these start getting different colors, though. Look at that sucker. It doesn't really look like a jalapeno, so that might be one of those thermonuclear ones. I don't know how many people have grown asparagus, but I haven't been keeping up with these things. They're growing like crazy right now because we started getting some rain, but I need to come out here and harvest some of these things. But when you don't harvest them, they turn into these fern-looking things. And they grow tremendously fast. Like, this is actually a new stalk. And this thing right here is probably 2 feet long. So I need to come out here and cut a few of these because those are nice and tender. You try to get them when they're a little shorter than that. I even bought a tool for cutting these things off, but fantastic plant. A lot of these are some of my mint and other things. I need to trim them back. Everything's about ready to be, whoa, I got a yellow jacket bothering me here. Get back, get back. Must have been near a nest. This Tabasco plant just amazes me. I must have had it in the perfect spot, but it kind of overgrew my whole bed. That thing is really tall. You can see my tomatoes in the back. They're doing fantastic. But we're about ready to lose all of this because if we're going to probably get a surprise freeze. I wanted to show you. I'm starting to get a head in here on my broccoli. So that's cool. I got a whole bunch of collards I got to cut and start processing some of that. And over here, Never grew peas before, so this is my first time growing peas, and I've been snapping some of the big ones off, and the peas are so sweet. I'm not a big pea fan. I like the Lejeune peas. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but regular peas don't do much for me, like the big fat green ones. And then my lettuces, they're all kind of falling over, so got to eat a lot of this. My rutabagas are humongous over here. Let's see if we get any heads coming in on the cabbage. These cabbage are humongous also. I just got leaves right now. I think everything's due for the next level fertilizer. Look at my kale too. I just grew that for the heck of it. What do you do with kale? You add it into your salad? I don't know. We don't eat kale. It's time for me to plant some garlic. So I started working on this and realized I should just go ahead and do a video, but I've been taking these heads of garlic and I've been breaking them down to individual cloves. I mean, you just kind of reach in there and separate it with your fingers, and a few of them you're going to find are not very good. In fact, some of these yellow ones, I'm not sure how they're going to work. The white ones are the best ones. Now the other thing, when you choose your garlic, find garlic like this that's not bleached white. You want them brown colored. They'll bleach it white because it's more appealing and appetizing. So in most cases, get yourself some organic garlic. And this is what I did here. Well, this is just fresh garlic. I think I got this from Sam's Club, but again, I look at the bottom of it to make sure that it's not bleached, and then that's acceptable. You know, if you want, you can get these things started in your basement or something, but I've always planted mine in October, and then I harvest in April, and then I plant something else, you know, like my summer crops get going. But you're supposed to typically, in the colder climates, you're supposed to plant these on the shortest day of the year and then harvest on the longest day of the year. So we'll see what happens. This will be my second year. My garlic turned out fantastic last year, and this is all I did. I just bought heads of stuff from the store, and this is the same stuff that you would cook with, nothing fancy. You can go to like Tractor Supply and pick up some stuff, but I found that this is actually the freshest way to do it. Sometimes the stuff at Tractor Supply was not the freshest. All right, I still have a few left over from last year that I grew, and I may end up planting some of those as well. So let me keep breaking these up, and then we'll go put them in the ground. Yeah, I'm also going to plant some Egyptian walking onions. So I got 3/4 of a bed that I'm going to plant with that as well, and this will take over the whole bed. I was really impressed with that 4x4 area that I grew of these, so let's get both of these planted. Now this bed I filled up with garlic, so it'll be a couple weeks before we see them starting to do something, but I got to get a bunch of mulch and throw on top of this. And here's my spinach. Spinach actually looks like it's thriving. I lost a couple plants though. Looks like 3 of them. And then this is the cauliflower. I don't see any heads for the cauliflower yet, but they're starting to get really going. In here I planted a whole bunch of those Egyptian walking onions, and I'm starting to harvest some of these over here now. These are my Egyptian walking onions. Dogs are going crazy inside, I hear them. I'm still pulling bell peppers off. There's just some small ones on the top. This is a medium-sized one right there. Here's my other peppers. I'm not going to plant nearly as many jalapenos next year because I just had a tremendous bumper crop. There's some bell peppers still on here. I hope these mature enough before we I got a lot of glare, so I can't see even what I'm showing you guys. There's a bell pepper right there. And then these are collards. They're kind of falling over instead of growing up yet. I don't know if that's a different type of collard. They're all supposed to be Georgia collards. And I got one extra bed here. Starting to get quite a few blooms on my azaleas. The white ones started well over a month ago, but the pink ones are starting to kick out now. So these are going to be gorgeous. The acorns are falling all over the driveway. Got to get out with the blower. Here's one that's got a lot of blooms on it. Really pretty. We had such a drought, I lost quite a few azaleas, so I got some of them planted in here, replacements. And then I decided instead of having all azaleas in between, I planted gardenias, which are pretty stinky. About to see how they work out. That'll give some contrast. Even in this bed, I lost I lost 6 azaleas, these outer rings. So I replaced 3. I got to get 3 more now and finish this bed off. But I've been struggling. This is a pain in the butt because I need about 150 foot of hose to bring out here to water these things. But we just had no rain. So I'm hoping we can get these matured through this winter. And maybe they'll have a better root system next year to survive and thrive. I decided since we're starting to get the colder weather, I'm going to go ahead and start harvesting my sweet potatoes. So I pulled out the first 2, and I got partially eaten sweet potatoes. So something's in here munching along. Someone ate the whole bottom off of that one, or maybe that broke off. Looks like something's eating on these pretty good. See that right there? So I need to go ahead and get these out of here. Maybe I can salvage a couple of these. There's always varmints eating stuff. That's kind of disappointing. Okay, the next row was not eaten. And I mean, I've got some monster ones. This thing is huge. It's bigger than a softball. So this is looking really good. And I know there's more in there that I missed, but I'm kind of just peeling it back as I go down the hill. So this is... Let me tell you something, I did not fertilize. All I did was rototilled furrows in here, and then I filled it up with rabbit manure, planted my plants, and that's what I got. So the rabbit manure is magic stuff, folks. Alright, so I ended up with about 2 gallons of half-eaten stuff and over 3 gallons of not eaten stuff. So I'm hoping we can salvage these. But that was 3 short rows of sweet potatoes. So next year I may end up doing most of this hill. Sweet potatoes are actually more healthier for you than regular potatoes. I still got to dig in here some more and make sure I didn't miss any, because as I was walking along there I found some more. But that was kind of cleaned off the hill now. Need a rototill, figure out what I can put in here for the winter time. Anyways, it's starting to warm up now. It's a good time to get this stuff done. Hope everybody's treating you well. I hope you're doing well. Hope you enjoyed seeing my homestead. God bless everyone.